welcome to the Sachsenring as we get set to kick off the 7th chapter of the 2023 MotoGP World Championship.
100,000 fans flocking through the gates here.
Okay, welcome back everyone for Round 7 with Southern E-Racing League, joined of course in the booth by Corasaurus. How are you doing today?
Hey buddy, I'm doing well.
I heard you had an epic fight with a spider mere moments ago.
Yeah, I went out for a cigarette before we got live here and I forgot to turn the lights on. And I walked face first into a web and I backed away, flipped the light on, and then realized there was a gigantic black spider just hanging there looking at me. I was like, holy shit. Dodged a bullet there. I was glad he was still hanging. It wasn't like in my hair or up my nose already.
I was fixing to be a scene straight out of Home Alone.
Oh, either way, I'm having nightmares for sure tonight.
I'll just call you Marv for the rest of the night.
I will not be sleeping. I can accept that, yeah.
At least it wasn't one of those ones that you touch and like all the babies scurry off the back and like... Or they did, and they're all in your hair right now.
You know, I'm thinking that he had a chance. There was an opportunity for the spider to come and get me, but I saw the same spider like a week or two ago in a different spot, and I thought, you know what, it's a big one, but I'll leave him be. But now he's kind of encroaching on the porch a bit further, so I might have to relocate him tomorrow.
He could be defending the house, though. That's your armed security, man.
True. This is true. Yeah, I usually don't mess with them, if they're, I only have like one sacred place. Like, if they're in my bedroom or in my bathroom, then we're fighting. But other than that, I usually just try to let them live or relocate them if I have to.
It depends where so the bedroom, sorry, Spider, you're goodbye. But bathroom, I can deal with depending on where they are. Like, I had one for a while that would kind of crawl down the wall and get a drink of water while I was in the shower, and he kept a respectful distance, and we were like, okay, you can live there.
Yeah, yeah. I've had the daddy long legs in the shower. Those guys are fine.
No, dude, it was a wolf spider.
Oh, geez, yeah. If I'm sitting on the toilet and I look up and there's a spider hanging, dude, we're fighting.
Yeah, no.
As soon as I get up,
exactly. I will say the wolf spider flew too close to the sun one day. He flew into the water stream of the shower, and that was I didn't rescue him. He sailed his own ship down the drain. So that was the level of preservation.
This is like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, just to finish off my spider story, but I got into the shower and then between the two liners, like the clear one and the colored one, there's a huge spider just literally in between them, just staring back at me while I'm showering. I'm like, this is awkward, dude. Like, do you mind? Like, can you go somewhere else?
Could you leave? Just like let me take my shower and
just turn around. Yeah, just turn around, please.
You can live, I can live, and we can just all be happy living people.
Mm-hmm. It is possible. It can coincide.
Certainly can. Only if they let you. So it looks like everybody set a time. They didn't break my rule. So massive props to that. Stockhazard's looking a little lost out there, but
so I think Stock, we're in the 7th round now, but I think Stock is our Moto3 champion from last season, but still, it's a big jump. The competition in Moto2 was pretty tight last season, and there's a lot of the same guys. So for him to be really I think he's the only one that really made the jump from Moto3 and has continued with it. So it's taken him some rounds to kind of get his feet under him, but yeah, the other guys are off to the races to the start of this one. You can see Nightcrawl he's doing the same thing week in, week out, and he's really setting a hot tempo early on in these qualifying sessions. and the rest of the guys have to catch them.
Everybody I tick to crashes. I'm not saying it's a bad thing in qualifying, but careful, boys.
I just seen we flicked over to stock and he took one.
It was like the commentator's curse and we didn't even talk about it.
All right, as we look through the current standings, we got about halfway through this. Nightcrawl still in first with 121.3. Jix Rage, second place, 3/10 off. Fast Raj just behind him at half a second. And then a bit of a gap, but they're closely fighting there for fourth place with one hand and two plane, less than a tenth apart. And then we've got a gap behind those guys. So I think the back of the second row is definitely going to improve here. These guys will tighten up over the next few minutes. Phobia looks to be making big improvements here, as does two plane.
You know, and I am going to plug us mid-qualifying here because I was going through some of our YouTube stuffs earlier today, and a couple people were commenting, oh, I want to compete, XYZ, XYZ. Got to get on the Discord. Find us on Discord, Southern E-Racing League. Link is in our About section or our bio here on YouTube. If it's not on Twitch, I guess I should verify that. If it's not on Twitch, go to YouTube, and you'll find us there as well. Some pretty good stuff happening over YouTube. We do re-upload all of the races throughout the week just to get through them a little easier. But yeah, come on out, join the group, and I guess official on-stream announcement is we are looking to build a Forza League. New Forza game just came out. I guess it was technically released, today?
Yeah, I think for most of North America it was today. I think the guys in California got it yesterday.
Oh.
But yeah, it's like a multi-day release. I think they're trying to get different parts of the world on it at different times, so as to not really hamper their servers too much. But yeah, it's live for us today. I have it installed, but I have not yet tried it. So hopefully I'll get on there in the next couple days and start practicing, start figuring out which cars I like, which tracks I like.
Yeah, I unfortunately probably won't get to touch it for about a week. We'll see what I can get done here, but from after the stream today on, it is packing for a little boys trip. Not little boys trip, but a little trip for the boys. Words. Anyway, gotta get us packed up, going out to.
Good save.
Yeah, good. Definitely not trying to make the news here. But yeah, I got to get packed up for that. So life comes first, and of course I'm dragging Hines along with us here. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, good little Central Texas dove hunting trip.
Oh, cool. Killing the innocent doves. All right, fun.
Delicious innocent doves. You forgot the first word.
I've never tried it, but I always I enjoy listening to the doves here. They're still out and about for a few more weeks before they start to migrate away from us. I'm up in the Northeast, so it's the nights are. We had a frost warning last night. It's starting to get down into the freezing temps. Yeah.
Oh man, it was the coolest day of like the year so far. It was a high of 80 here, and we were like, oh man, what's up? It'll be 90 in a couple days, so we'll be back like Texas. So. Nah,
I think it hit like 62 today for about 4 minutes. And then it dipped back into the 50s.
I don't miss it, honestly. I think we've talked about it before. I spent about the first half of my life, well, I guess much less than half now, but the first half of my childhood in the Northeast. And I can't do the cold anymore. I enjoy the Hines commentary here. So for anybody that's wondering where 7-8 Hines is, he's sick. So
I sound like shit.
And by sick, he claims allergies, and I claim I'm gonna be sick in a day because he was over on Saturday. So looks like Bear is out of fuel there. No, that wasn't out of fuel. Looking for a tow, maybe.
Who's he tucked in behind? Oh, he's coming in the pits.
Well, let's take a look at Jix Buff. Looks like he's on it. Well, just as he does throws down a gray sector.
Yeah, kudos there, Stock Hazard. Be able to get a position and hopefully gets one more lap and maybe he can further improve. But really at the top of the list, the top three guys haven't moved positions at all, but One-Handed has closed the gap down to Jix Rage. And Fast Raj has also tightened in, as well as Phobia 2 as well.
Yeah, I mean, look at the... I know you weren't around for our early, early seasons, but God, this feels unbelievably close compared to where we started.
Yeah, this is pretty good. I'm always fearful here that Nightcrawl not only can pull out this one lap pace in qualifying, but I have a strong suspicion, as we've seen it a few times already this season, that he can pull out those low 21s over a few different laps. So if he gets away early in this race, it's going to be difficult for the rest of the crew to keep up with him.
I mean, that's what he's pretty good at, right? Getting out front and running away. So we'll see. Oh my God, Fast Raj. Oof. Spicy. 121.2.
Looks like Roger's running out of fuel there.
Yeah, but man, that's throwing down P1 like that?
Fantastic.
Let's look at Phobia here. Looks like he's got a chance at bettering his time.
Yeah, the points or the season standings are tight at the top. Phobia's got his name right there near through the sharp point of it, so I think he's got a little something he can show here. He doesn't want to start off mid-pack on this track, that's for sure. Very tight first sector.
Very left-hand dominant track. So, in your experience with the game here, how are the tire temperatures being managed on something like this?
Yeah, it's an improvement in this game compared to the previous ones. This is the first generation of the game where they've brought in the asymmetric tires for certain tracks. So, in previous versions of this game, the left-hand side of the tire, since there's 10 left turns and 3 right turns, his Phobia drops it with 3 orange sectors. Albert with a chance here, last guy on track. He has a red first and an orange second sector. But yeah, typically the left-hand side would just get cooked and the right-hand side would be cold the entire race. With these asymmetrics, it's a bit more balanced out, but still in this game, the front tire is the one to be careful of, especially with some of these longer turns, like these last 2 turns. You really don't. You need to go a little bit safe on the brakes. You don't want to beat them up too bad.
Okay, well, let's see what we got here. We've got on pole position Fast Raj, quickly followed by Nightcrawl and Jix Rage. On the second row, Albert starting, followed by Phobia, 2Plane. Then Jix Buff, Whispers, D Veritech, and all this for Stock Hazard. I hope he appreciates those jokes. I really do. Anyway, that is our starting grid tonight for Moto2. You want to make any early pre-race projections before we go to our GP sprint race?
I do think Nightcrawl's got this one, but I'd really like to see a strong showing here from Jix Rage and One-Handed. Those guys look like they're pretty close on pace, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how they stack up when the race comes up.
One-Handed throwing down that initial, or that first red sector at the end there, really gives me some promise for what he's got to throw down, but we will see. Anyway, we will be back momentarily, going to rebuild for our MotoGP qualifying, quickly followed by the sprint race. So thank you for watching, and we'll be back.
Welcome to the Sachsenring as we get set to kick off the 7th chapter of the 2023 MotoGP World Championship.
100,000 fans flocking through the gates here.
Okay, welcome back for GP qualifying. Be followed quickly by our sprint race. What are you thinking, Corey, for our sprint race here, or qualifying in general?
Well, I'll say this. At the start of this, these guys have just got their first laps in, and so far the pace is really strong from the front. The top-level esports guys are just at the bottom of the 116s. So for these guys to be just about less than a second, right around a second off of them, is incredible. But, Rumham Rye's been pretty consistent. Seeing this time right now, the Black Jesus, 16.98, great time. We know Smokey has great pace, and I'm curious to see how Swaggin does here if he gets another lap in, because he's been improving the last few weeks, so I think he could have another strong showing here for Sachsenring.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what Hot Dog actually puts a real lap down here for, because something tells me that last one was not actually for real.
Yeah, and we have 8 bikes tonight, so we are missing McCargo. He'll be out for this event.
There goes Hot Dog.
Hot Dog puts in a nice lap. Beautiful.
Well, actually, we'll stick with Smokey here. I was just about to change, but that first sector being orange, I'll take it.
Yeah, so we know we have a lot of left-hand turns here. And it's a little bit more difficult for the GP guys. The tire wear and the tire heat, it does pick up quicker than it does on the Moto2 bikes. The brakes are so much stronger, and of course, there's a lot more power coming down out of the rear. Typically, this isn't one of those tracks where you get a lot of heat in the rear tire, but if you see like where Smokey is now about to come down the waterfall, you're actually spinning 5th gear the whole time. Even as you click up into 6th, you're spinning that rear, so the right side is just cooking. And so thankfully there's only a couple right-hand turns, but the right side of the tire right there does get real hot.
Well, here he comes around the final corner. Let's see where he moves his time. Does not improve, unfortunately.
Yeah, and same thing for Sharp. He had orange through 3 sectors, but just crashed out in the 4th sector. Oh, and Hitstick has invalidated this lap at the start of it.
Okay, well, that's not ideal.
I think next up could possibly be Swaggin. See how he does the 2nd sector. But the field is tight.
Really is.
1.2 seconds through all 8 riders. Fantastic.
Something tells me this is going to get a little spicier as the rest of qualifying rolls on here.
Certainly the sprint race from last season, we had a pretty tight pack as well in terms of pace last season, and all the bikes get bunched up for turns 1, 2, and 4. So we'll be interested to see how it goes in the sprint race, because obviously there's not going to be any tire wear, no fuel, so these guys will be right off to the races real quick to a very tight first sector. Nice little improvement there for Swaggin. I don't think he gained... Oh, did gain 1 position, actually. Moved up ahead of Smokey.
8 minutes left in qualifying here. Let's see what the rest of these guys have. Other than invalidated laps. Looking at you, Black Jesus and Rumham.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do it in this track, especially through the end of the second, beginning of the third sector around that waterfall. Those left-hand turns are so difficult to get the speed just perfect because you can, in this game, you can use the curbs so much better than the last game. So it really, it's just begging. Use all the curves. It's easy to go over them. It really is. And you'll watch here through this section, these two left-handers at the top of the hill. It's difficult to not go too wide and then cut that inside. And then same with the flipped direction back down the waterfall. It's easy to cut the curb on the inside and even run it wide down the hill.
Here we got Smokey with a red second sector as well as Rumham, but Smokey did it first, so.
Awesome. Orange through the third sector. Still has a good chance to improve significantly here. Gray third sector for Rumham, so Smokey should be able to move up a little bit here. Maybe we can get on the first row.
Let's see what happens. There he goes, P2.
1,000th of a second off of Black Jesus. Great lap there.
I just thank you, Milestone, for not doing this 1/8 of a second garbage. I'm sure you remember that.
Yeah. There's they've been getting better and better as the year goes on, as the years go on in terms of the timing, but it's still not perfect. You still do run into a lot of instances where you have, on the leaderboards, for example, you could have 3 or 4 or 5 riders with the same exact time down to the 1,000th. So
I imagine it's possible. Unlikely, but it's possible.
Well, yeah, and I would say it's definitely possible, but with the amount of players in this game, it's super unlikely because you'll have 4 or 5 people at the same time, and then the gap behind them could be honestly a half a second. So it's unlikely, but yeah, that's just how it goes. So yeah, you'll start to see some of these guys invalidate, like Rumham there. I think he's on his cooldown lap, but or maybe just trying to hurry up to get back to the pits. Maybe a quick swap of tires and try to get 2 more laps in. This is one of those tracks where 15 minutes of qualifying, it actually is quite a long time because of how short the laps are and how quickly you can burn through tires. So these guys need, not that they're changing tires here, but how quickly they can burn through the temperature. So when it comes to cooldown laps, they obviously need to be careful in a few different sections, try to get the temperatures back down a bit before they get back onto another hot lap.
Two Planes got a really good point in the comments here, saying everyone's so close on a super tight track. Yeah, this is a little track for the GP bikes for sure. Awful tight. So we'll see how these guys handle it. I imagine there's going to be a little bit of rubbing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Especially the first sector for sure, and then it tends to get back into single file for the second sector, and then maybe some passing opportunities at the end of the second into the third as we get close to the waterfall. But it's certainly going to be probably a bumpy start. That first sector is going to be action-packed.
And Rumham was on a good first lap there, but we did watch him invalidate it. Unfortunately, we just ran wide, touched the green.
Yeah, and he followed Hot Dog on the entirety of that lap, so I know Hot Dog's pretty close on the pace. Oh, he just goes off track there, but I don't think he invalidated.
Who's that?
Oh, that was Hot Dog on the entry to turn 1. If you stick on hit stick here for a second, you'll notice as they come down towards turn 1, they get in the braking section, he's going to pit.
Oh, well,
change.
So much for that.
Yeah, interesting. Old strategy. You'll see it as they come down, though, as they brake for turn 1. The rear tire lifts off the ground, and it sweeps out towards the outside curb. It's easy to have it swing just off track limits. Yeah, this is one of those tracks that's either a love it or hate it circuit. And I remember watching a video. It's actually it's a MotoGP eSport video a couple years ago from Dovi, Andrea Dovizioso, that said specifically about Sachsenring that this is the worst circuit on the calendar in real life on a bike and also in the video game.
That's kind of funny.
It was great to hear that.
He just hates it.
Yeah, and I have to agree with him. For GP bikes, I'm not a big fan of it. I think the bikes are just too fast or too big. But I think the Moto2 class and the Moto3 class can honestly put on a fantastic race pretty much any venue. But on a tight track like this, it's fun to watch for sure.
You know, there is a in some of these race classes, for instance, motocross or supercross, I think more specifically, there's a push by some riders to slow the bikes down. They want to make them 350s instead of 450s because they're saying it's too much for the little track. They're like, I'd prefer not to die.
Yeah, and I mean, for a lot of this, you said supercross or motocross?
Supercross.
Yeah, so I've been to a few supercross events, and honestly, the 250s are, in terms of lap times, are similar to the 450s. The biggest advantage, of course, for those 450s is if there's any quad jumps on the track layout,
yep,
they can easily clear the quads where maybe the 250s can't do it. So, yeah, I think there's a good compromise in terms of what's safe for the riders and what's still good for the spectators.
It'll be interesting what happened here. Smoke Tits had 2 red first and second sectors, and then a gray.
Let's see, as he has 1 turn to go. Maybe he cooled off, though. I can't. It looks like he's still pushing to the apex, so this will be tight.
Nope, no improvement.
I mean, look how tight the field is now. Back to 7th place is less than 0.3 of a second. Oh my gosh.
And Coco's still got time left.
Yeah, and he's improving. Orange first sector.
Bring back the CR500 for Nightcrawl. Man, those were... And this is all hearsay, mind you. I've never ridden one. But they didn't sing out. They were all low-end torque. What's the point of a 2-stroke that only has low-end torque?
Let's turn it over real quick if we can. Black Jesus, he's got a 2nd and 3rd sector going red. Oh, and he... Oh, as I say that.
And Coco just invalidated?
Yeah, he invalidated, but Rumham's got red 2nd, and he's not invalid. So, it looks like Black Jesus will get 1 more lap. These guys are really pushing at the end here, and I think some of them may have ruined their chances by overcooking the tires. I am getting word here from Hines that some of these guys, including Swaggin, when Swaggin went up to 4th place there, he had completely red tires.
I believe that.
Yeah, you can see there Rumham getting off the track into turn 1. It doesn't invalidate, which I'm surprised, because in the last game, for sure, that was an instant invalid lap. So I think the track limits might be a bit more friendly for these guys on this game.
You know, it depends, because I saw, unfortunately, I don't remember what rider we watched invalidate the lap, but he barely touched the green. So I think it just depends where you're at and how well it's actually programmed.
Well, turn 1 specifically should be an immediate invalidation if you go wide on the braking entry, because you're, 1, it's endangering those that are at the pit lane exit, and 2, it's a huge kind of a cheat code for better braking into turn 1 if you go off track there. There's only 4 riders back on track still. Hot Dog with 2 orange sectors, an opportunity to improve.
Yeah, but then throws down a gray.
Throws down a gray. It's really, though, it's only 0.03 of a second. If he got more than that in the first 2 sectors, he could get a steal here on Ryan for 3rd position.
That is true.
Does not improve, and last man out was Swaggin.
Okay, you want to give us the rundown? Oh, you can't really see, can you?
Nope. Sorry.
I gotcha. No worries. All right. Black Jesus taking pole position, followed by Smokey and Rumham Ryan. Second row started by Hot Dog, followed by Swaggin and Hitstick, and Sharp and Coco starting from the 3rd row. So kind of small GP class this time around, but it is going to be punchy for sure. So give us just a few moments here. We're going to let these guys load in, make any last-minute changes, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes for our GP Sprint race.
Good morning and welcome to the Sachsenring as we get set to kick off the 7th chapter of the 2023 MotoGP World Championship.
100,000 fans flocking through the gates here.
Okay, welcome back for our GP sprint race. What do you think, Corey? Who's going to take it?
We're going to find out after turn 2, so I'm just going to hold off for about 10 seconds. This could be anybody's, to be honest. These guys are off, and they were close in qualifying. It was less than 3 seconds back to 7th place, and Coco was in 8th there, but not too far off himself.
Lots of contact, but these guys held it up.
Yep, so we're seeing him tighten up his turns 1, 2, and 3. Switching back to our second right hand. There's only 3 right-hand turns, and here they are at turns 1 and turns 4. And now we go into single file time for the second sector of the track. The next big passing opportunity we will see should be coming down towards the waterfall section. Hot Dog is really close to the back of Smokey here. Oh, and he crashes going down into turn 8, the infamous turn 8. Difficult left-hander.
Did you have to talk about him?
Yeah, sorry, Hot Dog. I'll take about 8% blame for that one.
A whole 8?
For it being turn 8, I'm taking 8%. The rest is on you, my man. It is unfortunate, but we have an 8-lap race here, so still plenty of time. And Sharp goes off at a 3rd place as well with a crash.
Smokey putting a lot of pressure on Black Jesus here.
Yeah, this is where we're going to see a move here coming down to turn 1. Great drive from both these guys. The wire line for Black Jesus. And let's see if he holds the inside braking line. Well done. Smokey's closing up mid-corner, though. Wow, he's really controlling that bike.
Just a fantastic job. It's like he's just waiting for Black Jesus to make a mistake. He's right there.
Yeah, I think it's a smart play on this track. It's a super tight technical track, and it's not so much about knowing your braking markers, but knowing your speed. You need to know what the actual entry speed and corner speed is for each turn, because there's such long sweeping turns. You have to really nail that entry. And there's not a lot of hard braking zones, right? Oh, here we go. Turn 8. Hit stick looking for a move. Great move on the run him there. Let's see if Ryan fights back here.
Of course he is.
And he gets off track a little bit there. And he's going to make it stick down the waterfall. He gets it done. Oh, and hit stick right back with the fight. This is maybe not the place where our only Ducati in the field plan wants to be, is in an Aprilia sandwich. Coming down the straightaway towards turn 1. Oh, very deep in the turn 1. That's a different line. And he's off the track there.
That was not ideal.
He's going to rejoin just in front of Coco. Nicely done here from Black Jesus. He squeaked out a bit of a lead over 6/10 now on Smokey. And a crash at the crash. Oh, that's unfortunate. We're starting to see now really two big different packs of bikes on the track. If you look at the mini-map on the bottom there, we're seeing some separation for sure. These guys that are crashing out the back. And they don't lose a ton of time, but it's so difficult to regain it on this circuit if the other guys don't make mistakes.
Looks like Black Jesus is holding Smokey off pretty well up here.
Yeah, and it's an interesting... I'd be interested to hear what some of these guys say post-race is, you know, if they're just maybe conserving Smokey, conserving on tires a little bit, knowing he's got 5 more laps to do this. Oh, Swaggin and Hitstick getting very close down the last turn.
They just a little position swapping, if I saw correctly.
Yep, that for sure. The last turn on this track is the sketchiest one. You're at full lean, still on the brakes, trailing in, and then it goes uphill as you're trailing in. It's very sketchy on the front tire. So midway through this sprint race, the order goes from Black Jesus leading it now at over 7/10, 8/10 of a second from Smokey as Titan, and then Hitstick battling for third place with Swaggin. In fifth place, you've got Coco, followed about 2.5 seconds back from him is Rumham Ryan. And then right on his tail is Sharp General, and 3/10 behind him. And then Hot Dog is just off those guys about a second.
Let's take a look at Sharp here on the Yamaha. We don't
Coco
get a lot of
with the crash.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That's turn 8 once again. Very difficult downhill left-hand turn.
We don't get a lot of Yamaha screen time this year.
You know, and the interesting thing about that, though, is that they are surprisingly doing okay in the team championship points. You know, they're really not too far off the top guys there. There's been a couple good results from Sharp, and Coco's found himself mid-pack at the end of a few races, so they both picked up points. And what has hurt them, I think, early on was maybe some disconnects and some early poor results, but the last 2 or 3 races, they've definitely improved.
Ooh, a lot of contact there.
There's a collision, yep. Sharp and Rumham. Ryan went for a very brave move on the inside. I'm not even sure if Sharp had seen him there.
Yeah, that would be speculation, of course, but I'm not sure either.
You know, it's one of the interesting things about this game is there isn't a strict camera angle or camera mode that you race in. It does give you a lot of freedom in terms of manipulating your camera angle as a rider. So pretty much everyone rides with a slightly different camera angle. And coming down to turn 8,
oh, Sharp not good.
Throws it to the kitty litter. And yeah, unfortunately, now we have both Yamahas at the back of this grid.
Don't make me sad.
I know it.
Don't do that to me.
So coming up about to start lap 6, Black Jesus still has the fastest lap, but he was just holding on. About 7/10 still ahead of Smokey. And Smokey hasn't let him go just yet. Still with 2.5 laps here to go. He's still close. He's in contention. Any mistake from Black Jesus will close that gap significantly.
Yeah, this pack spread out a little more than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, I mean, great lap times to start us off, but, you know, unfortunately, we've seen a big number of crashes in this one. Turn 8 has been a very difficult one for these guys. And, you know, we have the main race coming up in about 45 minutes or so. I honestly think that that's going to be the most difficult spot for these guys. It'll be the last turn, for sure, but also turn 8. Especially when we have tire wear on and fuel, it's going to feel a little bit different for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll certainly see, but I've got to imagine those tires are just screaming right about now.
Yeah, so speaking of tires, I'm getting word here from our other cameraman, Hines. Hines is saying that Smokey's Titan and Black Jesus, are both on medium tires. So that's probably the best compound for this type of event and with the weather we have at the moment. And I'm hearing that Biaggi is treating his tires better. So And I believe that because Smokey's closed the gap down to right about 3/10 as he went into turn 1.
Yeah,
a little bit
push.
wide. He's probably going to be beating on those tires a little bit here in these last 2 laps to really get the gap down and maybe look for a move. My guess would be either down the waterfall if he gets close enough on this lap, or it'll be into turn 1 starting the next lap.
Guess we'll see. They don't have many laps left here.
Yeah, and this is really the only battle we can really tune into. The only 2 guys that are really close enough. It might be interesting here for this last lap to try to get an onboard from Smokey and see how much he closes the gaps on the brakes, or if it's mid-corner.
Well, let's take a look.
Really nice line through there, about 8/10 going into the final turn.
Looks like he's getting... Oh, no!
And we got a perfect angle at that one. So he attacked the apex and just clipped that curb too much. And unfortunately gives up the second place position to Hitstick. This could be a great result if Hitstick can pull this one out. And out of the back, a long lap penalty picked up on the final lap here for Sharp.
That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate for Smokey.
Yeah, it's one of those things that he's continually trying to improve on and learn this from this season. His patience, it will pay off. It's one thing to continue to push and push and push if you know you have the pace, but pace doesn't mean you can always keep it on track, keep it on 2 wheels. Well, the 2 Yamahas are really, I think I can almost say at this point they're fighting for last place. Who's going to take it? I'm seeing multiple crashes from the blue bikes.
Looks like Coco's going to take it.
Black Jesus should be coming up to the final turn now. Big wheelie for the boys. Nice finish.
He earned that.
Hitstick and Smokey with a drag race down the line. I think Hitstick got that, but we'll see.
I think Hitstick did as well.
Yeah.
Swaggin, Rumham, Hot Dog, and let's see, it looks like Sharp is going to take Yamaha position 1/7. Okay, so congratulations to Black Jesus for just leading and dominating that race. Didn't have the best lap, but darn close to it. Followed by Hitstick and Smokey as Titan, who did have the best lap. He was pushing hard, but if I had to guess, he just overcooked his tires. That's what contributed to his crash.
Yeah, overcooking that front tire, and then really just slightly clipped that curb on the inside. And under the last turn there. And it's an easy one to do because, like I said, as you're trail braking in, it goes uphill. Easy one to clip that curb. But
right.
Great result there for Hitstick and Smokey to be able to retain a podium position after that crash going on to the last lap.
Yeah, absolutely. Followed by, Swaggin, Rumham, Hot Dog, and Sharp and Coco. Why you gotta do my Yamaha like that, man? God. I need y'all to redeem in the main. I need y'all to redeem in the main.
Yeah, we got a main race coming up shortly for these guys after a Moto2 race, and I know that these guys all have really close lap times. We saw that in qualifying, and their race lap times are pretty close as well. So if they can just cool down a little bit and reset for the main race, a few less crashes, and we should see this main race really pop off.
Well, I hope so. So give us a minute here. We're going to rebuild our lobby for our Moto2 race, and we will be back.
Good morning and welcome to the Sachsenring as we get set to kick off the 7th chapter of the 2023 MotoGP World Championship.
100,000 fans flocking through the gates here.
Okay, welcome back for our Moto2 race of the evening. Had to highlight on the little Idemitsu bike there, didn't we?
And I am happy about that.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
I've been waiting for a win from Roger quite a long time so far this season. This just could be the track. He's looked great in qualifying. Would like to see him get off to it at the start of this one as well.
Not if Nightcrawl has anything to say about it.
Who's the best of the late breakers? It's always going to be Jake's Rage.
Oh my god.
I'm going to say that's probably lag. We're going to have to red flag that one.
We sure are.
I don't know what I'm watching.
I don't know what... I've red flagged the race and nothing's happening. There it goes.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's a milestone.
That's... Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back.
Thanks, Milestone. Go fuck yourself.
I'm going to go ahead and say, let's go, Carlos, and let's look at them birds, okay? Let's look at them birds real quick.
Yeah,
All right, stay tuned for a second, guys. We're going to get about a minute or two here. We'll get this lobby rebuilt. We'll get these guys back on track. We'll give it round 2 again.
Round 2 for Moto2.
Round 2 for Moto2.
Welcome to the Sachsenring as we get set to kick off the 7th chapter of the 2023 MotoGP World Championship.
100,000 fans flocking through the gates here.
Okay, let's take another crack at this race. What do you say?
It's a hell yeah, brother, from me. I'm excited for this.
Let's not get milestoned again, shall we?
Alright, so we saw a great launch at the start from the front three before the red flag, so 10 laps here. These guys are away. Another great start for Roger and Nightcrawl. Rage a little bit further back this time.
Oh! Nightcrawl with the hole shot. It admits who?
Big hole shot there from Nightcrawl. This is not what the rest of the pack wanted to see. Although he got bested in qualifying for the top spot, he had the pace to do it a few different times, I think. So these guys don't want to watch him run away at the start here.
At least we got through turn one this time.
How's the helicopter came on this track? Let's see if we can get a couple bikes in picture here.
Kind of shite as usual.
Yeah, it might be good coming down the waterfall.
Let's see.
Oh, Jixray's really closing up on Roger here towards the waterfall. Can he get it in front of him before the switch over? It looks like he does. And the inside line for the braking. What, he backs out of it?
Just
off the track for Nightcrawl.
No! That's
huge for the rest of the track. What a big mistake there.
Was that hitching, or was that... I'm suspect of the game now.
I think that was missing his braking marker.
I meant between Fast Rod and Jix Rage here.
Could be a little bit of latency on Roger's side. He's been known to do that once or twice, but the field is pretty tight here as we look back. 2 in 5th place, only 2 tenths behind Phobia. Phobia is just a few tenths, 3-4 tenths behind one-handed, so very close between these three guys.
D. Veritech with an unfortunate crash.
Yeah, a bit of separation now at the back for those two riders. D. Veritech and Stock Hazard just a bit off the rest of the guys after their mistakes. But the top 8 are all still pretty close in contention here. A huge mistake on the front. 2 riders colliding.
Whoa!
My goodness, bikes on track after that drop. So it was definitely Fast Raj and Jix Rage, who I don't know if they had an incident together, but their bikes were certainly in the way. Multiple bikes behind them got caught up in it.
Not a clue. Any word from that from Race Direction?
We're waiting message still, but I can definitely say it is shaking things up at the front. Longhand has taken the lead with 2 playing in second, and Nightcrawl has somehow made his way back up after a huge mistake on lap 1. Fastest lap of the race there on lap 2 goes to Nightcrawl as well.
Yeah, he's hauling ass back to the front. He really, really is. But God, it's good seeing one-handed out in front, isn't it?
Fantastic. Oh, and Nightcrawl gets a little too hard in there on two-plane, bumps him. Now he might be looking for the long way around. Oh, he's going for the over-under. Contact between the two bikes as he goes under him.
I think he's going to make that stick.
Yeah, he definitely forced his way through, but it looks like he's through. Let's see if he can hold it down the brakes for turn 8 here. This is a very difficult turn 8, downhill left-hander. You cannot touch that inside curve at all. Alright, so I'm not seeing anything in regards to the incident from race direction. It looks like we both missed the incident. We'll have to wait till the post-race to get some more information on that one. The results of the second lap, but I do have some tire info that could be interesting in this race. It's a 10-lap race, and I suspected that most of these guys would go for, I'm assuming, if I can get a confirmation here from Heinz, is the MH, is that a medium front, hard rear?
I would assume that.
Yeah, that
is the way I would write that.
Yeah, that's how he wrote it. I just asked because it's very strange to me that you would go in this game with a harder rear compound than the front. It's very strange.
Looks like it's everybody except Jixbuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing as well. So you're seeing medium hard from all the riders except Jixbuff on the medium front and the soft rear, which I'll be honest, I think that would have been my take as well. What Jixbuff did here is the soft rear tire.
Really?
Yeah, I think the rear tire, specifically in the Moto2 bikes, you can get away with it. And I'm surprised we don't see any hard front tires. I think that the front tire is the one that would cook up a lot on this track. But again, this is the first iteration of this game adding in the asymmetric tires, so a hard front is not an option. Okay, all right, milestone. Okay. Alright, so the asymmetric medium front is the hardest of the options they get.
Can we talk about that? The fact, you don't get it.
I don't even want to talk about it, I'll be honest. I don't understand it. I can't make sense of it.
No hot tire for you.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. But either way, we're still underway here. 5 laps in, it's about halfway through. Two-plane has now put up the fastest lap of the race, so Nightcrawl was getting all bump and grind with him there, had made the move stick, but has since made a mistake, and Two-Plane's taking second spot back with authority.
I wonder if Bear's starting to feel the pressure. Halfway through the race, a Two-Plane right up his trumpet.
And we did have an early lap 2 mistake there from Fast Raj and Jixrich. Just a moment to speak on them. They're still fighting their way back to the pack. Rogers up to 7th position, but almost 7.5 seconds back of 6th place to his Whispers. Jixrich is currently down in 10th, and he's about 3 seconds off the mark from Stock Hazard. So this battle at the front is still going strong. You know, I'd love it if we could put this camera on Two-Plane.
Let's do it.
It's hard for me to watch Nightcrawl bouncing around that much.
Let's see if we do one of these for a minute.
Yeah, as long as we don't do this on Nightcrawl, I think we're safe.
Oh, you mean like this?
Oh, please don't. Wait till he turns. Wait till he turns.
Oh god, it's so bad. Anyway.
Yeah. To be fair, I mean he's well into the 200s on his ping, I'm sure, for this server.
Look, I know Australia's a little penal colony, but it can't be that bad there.
Well, it's just the distance, right? What is it, like 11,000 miles or something? 7,000. That was like 8,000 miles. It's far. Oh, a Two-Plane with a huge crash at the top of the hill. Oh, that's disappointing. That was really the buffer I think that one-handed needed, is you don't want Nightcrawl with that latency and his pace around here catching up to you with just 4 laps to go.
He's gonna crawl right up his ass.
Yes, he is. one of the good things about this Moto2 group is that all these guys are pretty close. They do a lot of practice racing together, and then they're always in party chat together, not just for this race, but playing other games or doing practice races for this. And these guys are chirping each other nonstop during the racing, which is so different from a lot of times in the GP class. You get very focused. A lot of people are muting the chat, but the Moto2 group is just they're always having a great time no matter what the result is.
It really is the Thunderdome.
Yeah, it's absolutely the Thunderdome. It's a blast to be there. Phobia now with 3 laps to go has closed the gap on Jix Buff. And Nightcrawl's closing in at the front as well with one-handed down around 2 or 3 tenths. Looks like one-handed may have made a couple little mistakes there and the gap has been closed. Stock Hazard with a crash out of the back. Jix Rage has moved up to 9th position. Fast Raj still in 7th, but now just about 5 seconds back from Whispers. This is a great little battle here for 4th place. And of course, Nightcrawl still just following and watching one-handed. Impressed with 2-point though. I mean, despite that issue, he still has the fastest lap of the race. He's still hanging on to that podium position. These guys are right behind him. We'll see if they dice it up with each other, Jix Buff and Phobia, or if they try to reel him in together. Only 3 laps to go. Oh, Stockcaster with another crash out of the back there.
He's having a hard night.
Yeah, it's a really difficult technical track. You really got to put in time to practice this one.
Well, don't want to pick on him too hard, but I'm not sure that happened.
Oh, Phobia's really right up on Jix Buff now. I'm just going to be interested to see how this plays out. If he looks for maybe a draft pass somewhere, maybe down the waterfall or down the main straight, or he tries to force his way up here. Very close there, but no contact at all. Very clean.
Looks like Bear's opening up that gap a little bit between Nightcrawl and himself.
Yeah, Nightcrawl lost almost 4 tenths there into the first turn, so he definitely made a mistake on the brakes into turn 1. But his mid-corner speed and his braking seems to be very strong. He's able to pull it back as the lap goes on.
Oof, pulled it back strong. In fact, let's go take a look at that.
Oh, mistake there from Jix Buff. One-handed with a crash.
Oh no! We just missed it.
He's moved down into 2nd. I don't know if 2-point is going to be able to catch it, but we'll keep an eye on this as this comes down. And there's contact once again. Phobia and Jix Buff side by side. They do trade places for a moment. Jix Rage just picked up a long lap penalty. And with that crash from one-handed, that is difficult to see because now Nightcrawl has a big gap at the front. 5 seconds it opened up.
Yeah, it is now Nightcrawl's
Jix Buff
race
with
to
a crash.
And Divertech.
Phobia moved up into 4th place. And Whisper should pass him as well. Whisper gets ahead of him for 5th over Jix Buff. He'll need to recover quick here and get back on the pace because Roger's only 2 seconds back.
Big fins. Big fins.
Yeah, I'd like to see Garrett if you have any ideas on how the tires are looking for some of these guys.
He doesn't know.
Tires all look the same.
I told him he doesn't know.
They're all around, including the medium to soft.
Are they black?
Yeah.
Gasp.
Yeah. Or do they say Michelin? Yeah, they're all shit. Okay, move on.
Fighting words.
So Jix Buff was a slightly less tread left, but still good in the temperature range. Fast Raj is really closed up on him to start this final lap. This could be the best battle on track as we enter the last lap.
Jix Rage picking up a long lap penalty.
Yeah, he did. He picked that one up at the start of last lap. So interested to see if he gives it an attempt or not. He should have had a clear chance to attempt it last lap, but for sure this lap. Stock with another crash out the back end. And Roger gets the move done on Jixbuff there to turn 2. Very nicely done. And he's actually closed the gap up. Whispers is also in trouble. He'll be under attack here from both of these riders. The gap at the front is coming down quick. I'm thinking Nightcrawl is turn it down to power 0.5 or maybe completely run out of fuel. I mean, the gap is coming down. It was at 5 seconds a lap ago, and it is just, he's in total cruise mode or just leaving it in 6th gear and trying to get across the line with as little fuel left as possible.
He is getting ready to make a dank woolie across the finish line. This is my prediction.
Yeah, he needs to show us a really... I don't even know if you can get in the high enough power mode to get the front wheel up.
I was wrong.
So... you know, good result for him. Crazy ending to this one. One-handed with an opportunity to really take some great points at the top, but still winds up with a 2nd place position and 2 playing out of 3rd. So great result for both of those guys. Both have a chance to take home the win in this one.
No dank woolies? What the hell, boys? What are we doing with our lives?
I don't think these guys have the power mode to do it still. I don't think they have the gas for it.
It's lighter. Just manual that bitch. Just rip up on the clip-ons. It'll be fine. Anyway, congratulations to Nightcrawl for having a fantastic race and one-handed as well. Really held in there. I'm sure he was hoping for that P1, but man, P2's pretty good as well. 2 playing with the fastest lap of the race, followed by Phobia, Fast Raj, Whispers, Jixbuff, Jix Rage, D Veritech, and Stock Hazard. Really good job from all these guys. Well, I don't have anything. Do you, Corey?
No, great race overall, action-packed. Can't wait to see what the main event looks like for GP.
Yeah, we will be back in a few minutes, and hopefully the GP race goes without a Turn 1 explosion. We'll see y'all in a minute.
to the Sachsenring as we get set to kick off the 7th chapter of the 2023 MotoGP World Championship.
100,000 fans flocking through the gates here.
Okay, here we are for our main and final event of the night, MotoGP Sprint Race. So, you saw him in the Sprint Race, MotoGP main race, jeez. You saw him in the Sprint. How do you think they're going to do in the main?
Well, I think it's going to be a little bit closer. That last Sprint race kind of, after lap 1, kind of spread out a bit. A few different crashes. I think these guys will play it a little bit safer. They've got one extra lap here, 11 laps on this one, compared to the Moto2 race. But I think with the tire wear now on, these guys know that the crashes are going to be a little bit more significant, and they need to be a little more patient in these early moments.
Only 11 laps for the GP boys. They really didn't spread that race out, did they?
Yeah, I think our prediction was going to be about 13 laps, but it looks like it is only 11 for this one. I'll be interested to hear from Heinz here what some of the tire choices look like. If everyone's going the same, my prediction would still be a hard front tire. I know I was wrong on the Moto2 guys, but I'm thinking a hard front and probably a medium rear. I think the soft rear gets too hot on this track. Oh, and a crash for Black Jesus out of second place.
Oh, that's a bit of an upset there.
Oh, that's very disappointing. He's down in last at the moment, 4 seconds back on the pack. And the rest of these guys are still very close together here. About a second gap at the front after that crash. It created a small gap, but it is Smokey and Hitstick very close together here. Should be able to work together down the straight to close the gap a bit on the front. Him lines up there at the moment. Hot Dog looking for a great inside move down the straightaway onto turn 1 on Hitstick.
Oh, birds! Birds. Sorry.
I think that's what made us crash in the first Moto2 race. As birds crossed the screen.
Damn birds. They're not real.
So, oh, and a late break there from Hitstick. He's going to connect there with Swaggin on the inside of turn 4.
Man, these Yamahas sticking together again.
Yep, he's also gotten caught up as he's gone wide a couple times there. He's moved back a few spots and got himself stuck behind, stuck in the mix with the two Yamahas. Black Jesus has gotten that gap down. He was over 4 seconds. It's now down 2.5. So these guys are chopping and changing here in the mid-pack. It's allowing Black Jesus to catch back up. Smokey's with a off-track warning there. And I'm getting tire information in here. Looks like a couple different selections. I'm seeing a few guys go with the hard medium, as I would have done myself. You've got a few guys on the medium. And then I'm even seeing the two Yamahas going with a medium front, soft rear. Very interesting. So as the second lap completes, Rumham puts down the fastest lap. No surprise there. He's out front and creating a bigger gap there. And Hitstick with a big crash into turn 1. He'll drop to the bottom of the pack. Black Jesus still making time up on these guys. Only 1.5 seconds back now. And a great battle in the mid-pack. We've got Hot Dog, Swaggin, Sharp, and Coco all about a half a second apart from each other.
All right, we got Veritek rooting for Coco here. We'll see if that's a curse or if that's a blessing.
Yeah, these guys, the Yamahas, with their tire choices, with a medium front, soft rear, they should be okay for the first few laps. But I can't think as they come down the waterfall here that rear tire's gonna get super hot. Swaggin cuts the inside of the curb there. Coming down the waterfall, the tire's gonna heat up quite a bit. I can't think maybe past lap 4 or 5 that it's gonna pay off for them.
I suppose we'll see.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how Black Jesus does with that hard front tire. It's Black Jesus, Hitstick, and Swaggin are the 3 riders with the hard front tire. Those guys, we'll see how they do as we get into the mid-race here now. And the medium front, Rumham, Hot Dog, and Smokey. And this is actually great intel, great info for us to have as we watch these guys with 11 laps. They got 7 to go. We'll start to see how the gaps work. Long lap penalties picked up there. Too many track limit warnings from Swaggin. That could set him back multiple positions. Sharp's right on his tail, and then Coco and Black Jesus are within 1.5 seconds of him. It's a very short one, but it's very slow at turn 1.
I was going to say, is that right there in turn 1? Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, you see that little yellow mark on the bottom right there? It's right at turn 1, and it's it kind of squares off at the end and almost comes back, like over 180 degrees. Like it almost comes back towards a curb, so it's a bit sketchy. I don't think it was this season. I want to say it was 2022. In the GP race there, Jack Miller picked up a long lap and did the most badass long lap attempt through it. There's another rider, I want to say it was Pecco, who crashed out in turn 1 last season, and there was rocks, and the kitty litter was all across the long lap penalty area.
Okay.
And Jack Miller was just absolutely knee down
across all it.
Yeah, damn near elbow down, going through the long lap penalty through the kitty litter. It was awesome. So Black Jesus, I mean, I'm telling you, he is really moving up the line here, and fastest lap of the race. 6 laps to go. The gap at the front is still pretty significant now for Rumham.
Yeah, D Veritex in here saying Aprilia should give him a satellite bike.
He's looking good at the front. Ooh, contact. Hot Dog and Swaggin. Swaggin goes off track slightly there. And he also has to deal with this long lap penalty. He'll have 3 laps to complete it since he picked it up during the race.
A little over halfway through the race now.
So Swaggin elected not to go for it yet. He'll have to go for it next lap for sure. Black Jesus really closing these guys in. Oh, as I say that, maybe a slight mistake there, but he's right off the tail end of this pack we're looking at right now. You have Swaggin, Sharp, and then Black Jesus just behind him off camera.
Yeah, he's really getting up in there.
And now as we're approaching lap 7, so looking at this little battle here, Swaggin possibly looking for the over-under. Goes off track once again, going down the inside of the waterfall. We've seen that a few times.
Vertex Sharp's on a soft rear, as wild as that is.
Yeah, so Sharp and Coco, both Yamahas together, elected for a medium front and a soft rear tire. Yeah, very brave in my eyes. Here comes Swaggin. This is his last opportunity to attempt this long lap. You see as he comes back around, it really slows down at the end, and he cuts all the way across the racing line to get it done.
Well, he made it work.
Thankfully no bikes there. He used all the track there to get it completed.
Hey, man, he paid for all of it. He's going to use all of it.
It didn't lose a ton of time either. Oh, this battle's heating up. So this is Sharp on the soft rear tire, and he's getting hounded by Black Jesus, who's got the hard front, medium rear. I really think in these last 4 laps that Black Jesus has an opportunity to get past not just Sharp, but also Hot Dog.
I mean, I guess we'll see there. I'm still surprised that the soft rear's even holding up this far into the race.
Yeah, I didn't get a good look at the temperature, but oh, there's a bit of contact. Black Jesus really late on the brakes. Didn't affect either rider too much, though. Yeah, we're starting to get word here from Heinz that the soft rear tire is starting to go. And most likely, again, it's coming from that waterfall section. Super fast right-hander, downhill. You're spinning the rear tire all the way through 5th gear as you click up into 6th, and you can still spin it through 6th gear, even on power mode 2.
Not too long to go. Let's see if you can make that hold out. Would love to see Amadog up on the podium.
Okay, stream quality took a dive there for a second, but I think I'm back.
Okay, well, don't be taking dives.
You know, the funny thing is I've actually I'm testing a new internet provider here. Got one installed today. Oh, look at this crazy line from Black Jesus.
That was curious. D-Veritech speculating he's in Power 1.
I've got some news for you guys.
What do you got?
Sharp's rear soft tire is orange and about 50% left, compared to Biaggi's medium rear tire at 70% still green.
Well.
Yeah. He's got 3 laps to go. So,
yep.
I mean, I really think that Black Jesus here is in a better position, but can he get the pass done? He might have a bit better pace here, but it's whether or not he can get it done. You know, and this is one of those tracks where you really have to get the pass done on the brakes rather than on the gas. You know, you can make up time mid-corner, but you got to sneak by on the gas, or sorry, on the brakes rather than on the gas here.
I think we're likely to see this pass come up here very soon.
He's really hugging the inside underneath him, and maybe he can sneak through. It looks like he's trying it. There's a bit of contact there.
A little bit of latency as well by the looks of things.
If it were me, I would really look to get on his tail coming down the waterfall and look to make this pass here.
Yeah, there you
this
go,
is the
right
spot
there.
to do it. Get the inside line. He goes wide, though.
He's going to hold it. Sharp doesn't want to let it go, but it looks like he's got no choice.
Yeah, look at him. He got the bike down with ride height. So the gap to the front Rumham is still over 2.5 seconds. And Hot Dog with a great result so far, holding down 2nd place. Team KTM currently has a 2-3 finish potential here.
I am not sure we're going to see them swap back anytime soon. Just absolutely knowing that rear is cooked on Sharp's bike.
I apologize. I am just staring at about 9 pixels on my screen at the moment. There's something happening, though. Yeah, it ain't great for me, but I know it's still close out there. I can tell there's still bikes that are very close.
Well, really hoping it's not my end, because that would mean the entire stream is dog water. I don't think it is.
No, I'm watching it on the stream as well. It's a bit behind, but the quality looks great.
Well, good.
The quality of this race has been really great as well.
That's a whole lot of KTM up front.
Yeah, this is fantastic to see. Hot Dog has improved quite a bit, and this track and this bike is just clicking for him. Happy to see it. I do know, though, that him and his teammate have gone for different tire compounds in this race. So Hot Dog has a medium front, medium rear, Biaggi with the hard front, and he's closing down on the last lap here, under a second. Can he look to repeat the move that he made on Sharp? Can he get close enough, maybe, for another pass attempt down the waterfall into the brakes?
Oh, I don't know. That'd be big at this stage in the race.
I mean, look at the time come down. He's under 6/10 now. It's, he hasn't been close enough to really get a look at his line, but if he can get it close enough, he can position his bike on the inside again. I think there's potential for it here.
Rummy boy, that's a new one.
Yep, a great racing result here. Ryan got out to the front early on this race and really had an opportunity to check out while the rest of the mid-pack was battling back and forth. And that can certainly happen on this track. I think where it all went well for him was Black Jesus crashing out of second place on the first lap. Created a gap and no one could really keep it close with him.
Yeah, that was rough, but I mean, let's look at how much Black Jesus has had to advance and go through the pack to get back to where he is now. I mean, really impressive.
Rumham crosses the line, and Hot Dog with a great result. You're absolutely right. Black Jesus making a comeback as well, finishing on a podium position.
Man, rough race for Coco back there.
Yeah, the soft rears, it's a gamble. It certainly is a gamble. And Sharp made the most of it. He didn't have the pace towards the end to keep up with Black Jesus, but he was able to hold on to a nice finish for himself there, fourth place.
Oh man, we got that Hammy guy taking first place, so congratulations to Rumham Ryan for the win of the main event. Followed by RC Hot Dog, Black Jesus, Sharp Jenna, Smokiest Titan, Swaggin, Hitstick, and Coco. Man, I mean, really good racing from all these guys. Really happy to see the good results, and happy for them all. And congratulations to Black Jesus for that fastest lap. And man, it shows the way he came back at the end there. So definitely good all around. You have anything for the people, Corey?
Yeah, I'll just say that was an impressive event. I think all around we had nice examples of good, clean racing for both Moto2 and MotoGP, and the qualifying times. If anybody missed the qualifying sessions, worth a look. Normally I don't say that, but worth a look. The times were so freaking close. So that can happen at this track, and it was a great event overall.
Yep, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Check us out on our social medias, namely our Discord if you're trying to hang out or come in and ride with these guys. You can find it through, of course, our bio in any of our social medias or through our website at the bottom there, SERLUSA.com. We will see you guys next week at...
We have
had this prepared. Acid. There we go.
Acid's coming up next week.
At least somebody knows what's going on around here. Well, all right, guys. Like I said, reach out to us. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, and come on and race with these guys as well. Also, Forza League coming up here soon, so start messing with some cars, getting stuff going. I think that's going to be a real fun one. But as always, you guys have a great night, and we will see y'all next week.
Have a good night.